My name is Bryan Wilson. This is my overall presentation of my virtual child for my daughter, Brianna. First of all, I'd like to say, of course, my daughter's name is Brianna, but I could not find any. I don't have a younger sister, and I'm not a female. So all these pictures in here are going to be of my younger brothers or me. So this is overall a comparison of my childhood versus my virtual child's upbringing. And this is as in comparison of what my parents did and how I implemented that into raising my daughter. So starting off is birth to 3 years old. Here's actually a picture of me. I was about 1 at the time. At this age, Brianna displayed more advanced motor skills, which I did not have, as what she did. She was a little bit more advanced than most children her age. She was grasping and moving around and pointing at things at a more advanced rate. At times, she was difficult to calm down when she was frustrated, so which was a little tough as a parent, but what was a plus side is when she was around strangers, she would be very active and calm around them, so which is nice. And she got acclimated to them on her own will. And then around the age of 2, Cedrea was born, my second daughter, so it's changed the whole family dynamic of how I raised Brianna. Right here, these are my brothers. In the middle picture, the one on the right is the oldest. His name is Bryce. The one on the left is Bryan. And then here's pictures of them when they were one and about 5, I believe. At this age, Brianna, she was resilient. So whenever I instructed her to do something and then I had to discipline her if she didn't do it correctly, she was resilient and she accepted my instructions very well. She was still displayed above average motor skills. And then this is kind of the age where I saw that she was displaying advanced tendencies in most children her age. She started school at the age of 5. Making friends was a little bit more difficult for her, but she eventually adapted to it. I think it was more so an idea of her not being around kids her age that much, even though I tried to keep her in the neighborhood kids and play with them when she was about 3 years old. She also started speaking a lot more better than the other kids her age. She had above average language, and I think that was just in part of me taking her to the science museums because that's what she seemed to enjoy, like going to the science museums and I would point out things and I'd say their names and then she would repeat them back to me. Also, my parenting style was not very comforting for her, so I feel like that's in due part of how she performed in school, but it was very demanding. So she understood commands very well, but she didn't feel very warm and comfortable. Next, we have 8 to 11 years old. Here's a big jump here. Here's my older brother on the left. He is about 8 at the time, and my youngest brother right here. I'm sorry. He's probably 9 at the time, and then my other brother, he's probably like 7 at the time. So at this age, from 8 to 11, in school, the teacher reported that she worked well independently, but not very cooperative with group projects. I think that's a part of my teaching style at home because I implemented more of a free will thinking for Brianna. I never want to condition her into thinking one way or what other people wanted her to do. So it was more so whatever she felt comfortable with, I was going to support her. She had an above average visual arts development. I feel like that's in part due to genetics because I was gifted more athletically, but I was not very music inclined. But the rest of my family, they're more so music and art inclined, and I'm not. So I feel like that's a genetic reason why she does so well with music. She also sometimes can get distracted during work, but it's very easy to correct herself and get back into the understanding groove is what the teachers reported. Here's where she started developing her above average intellect with schoolwork, and her 2 strongest subjects were science and math. Next, we have 11 to 13 years old. Here's my brothers. They're a little bit older at the time on the right side. The oldest one in the red shirt, I think he's about 10, maybe 11 right now at that time right there. So this is the point in time where she started getting more into her own mindset of what she wanted to do. At this age, she started doing more dance and gymnastics. So I feel that's also a genetic reason the athleticism that I have was passed down to her, possibly from her mother as well. She would also play for me musical instruments at night. So, like I said, with the musical instruments, she played the violin, and then every night before going to bed, she would play the musical instruments for me. And at this time, Cedrea is just now starting school. Um, and that also and that kind of changed how I see school as well. So taking what I learned from Brianna, I kind of tried to put that into Cedrea, but I just quickly understood that they weren't the same person. Cedrea was a little bit more aggressive and not as advanced as Brianna was, but she still did fairly well for herself. Um, the teacher reported for Brianna while she was in 5th grade that she respects others' properties, and she sometimes will get upset when she's stressed out. So, which is a downside, but coming home, I would talk to her and ask her what's frustrating her, or like what she needs to do to escape from that. So I eventually set up a schedule for her, like setting time for schoolwork and then a separate time for doing pleasure tasks, like I guess playing outside and everything. So I can't keep them cooped up in the house all the time. Here we have 13 to 15 years old. So as I said before, this is the age where Brianna is starting high school and she's kind of discovering herself. So now she's making more friends, getting involved into team sport tasks or enhancing what she does well already. So now she's transitioned from middle school to high school. In 8th grade, she had straight A's, especially her highest reported grades were in math and science as well. And she flourished in those. She reported a good citizenship in middle school, so she was well liked by the teachers and displayed a good moral character. 15 to 17, now she's pretty far into high school. Now, at this point, I kind of wanted her to step into some extracurriculars. So this is where she's starting to join clubs, like leadership clubs, band and orchestra, and she's getting more acclimated to finding herself. So this is kind of something I did at 15 to 17 years old because I needed something to always do to keep myself busy, and I always felt it was good to find extracurricular tasks to just find enjoyment in life, and that's one of the clubs I did on the right. And then Brianna got more, like I said, more into orchestra, the leadership clubs, and just overall enhanced her music ability. But this is when she found out she wasn't very okay with the team sport mindset. So that's when she started her soloist and music instruments. Now at 18 years old, this is when she starts taking interest into boys and she gets a boyfriend. Also, I started giving her more personal responsibility of having her own car and taking care of it, and just the personal responsibility of taking care of those things. Now, this is the point in time where she also went behind my back and then got a matching tattoo with said boyfriend, which I disciplined her by taking away car privileges and driving and limiting where she could go. And other than that, she's starting to graduate high school and she's getting good grades, and now she's eligible to take higher order classes in her 12th grade year. So it's good to see that. Then, thank you.